The other day, I was in a Zoom meeting with two individuals. I was making an introduction. The goal was for me to transition out of the relationship and let these two individuals carry on. So I was on the call with Diego and Raul, and as I was introducing them, it turns out that they were trying to connect previously to this call. So as soon as I made the introduction, Raul says to Diego, "Hey, by the way, I don't appreciate the multiple emails that you sent me in trying to schedule this. As we explained to you, we're in the middle of a transition period, so cool your jets." And that set Diego off, and Diego immediately became defensive and said, "Hey, I was doing this for your benefit. I want to talk to you. I want to connect with you. So yeah, my emails may have been a little annoying and aggressive to you, but the reality is I was doing this for your benefit." And so things just went downhill from there, and Diego and Raul started going back and forth, talking not about what we were there to talk about, but more so who was going to level up and who was going to get the last word in this conversation. And of course, I was not prepared for this conversation to go left. I thought it was going to be, "Hey, Diego, this is Raul. You guys meet. Let's talk about how we can move forward." And instead, it turned into a fighting match of words. So I jumped into the conversation and I said, "Diego, look, let's take a deep breath, take a step back. We want to work with you. Raul wants to work with you. Let's put this issue about the communication aside. Let's talk about the now and the here." It didn't end as I had wished, but at a minimum, both individuals stopped themselves and took a deep breath, and we ended the call so that we could cool our jets. Thankfully, I was there to sort of get them to realize that they weren't focused really on the issue, and it was really just a communication breakdown. The moral of the story: communication is key in conflict resolution. Hi everyone, my name is Bertha Barrezo and I am managing shareholder of Barrezo & Barrezo. I'm an employment lawyer and we have offices in Orlando and Tampa, but we serve the nation. Today, we're gonna talk about conflict resolution. What is it? I can boil it down to one word. It's communication. It's about resolving conflicts through communication, not just with words, but with your actions, with your behavior, with how you show up to the workplace. A good example of conflict resolution in the workplace is something that I think happens every single day. Your employees, they come into work every single day with one objective, and that is to do their job, right? Your managers are there to also do their one job, which is to make sure that the people that are working under them are doing their job correctly, efficiently, and whatever the standards are. But we're humans, right? We show up to the workplace with baggage. We show up to the workplace with experiences that have happened to us, whether it's that morning, whether it's the night before, whether it's an ongoing situation. So these two individuals come to the workplace. The employee maybe is in a bad mood because something happened the night before. The manager shows up with the same probably type of baggage that possibly an employee is carrying with them. And they show up at work, and one little thing that happens is a trigger for them to start to react in a very emotional way. So what happens? The manager goes to the employee and says, "Jake, why aren't you doing this? I've told you lots of times how to do your job and you still can't get it right." Well, the reality is Jake does get his job right, but for the past couple of weeks, he's been doing it in a really half-done way, and Jake is getting irritated. What's now happening is a situation that is set up for a possible conflict with each other. Our expectations as business owners and entrepreneurs is that they can figure out a way to work through it, but that's not always the case. It's incumbent upon the leaders within the firm to make sure that our managers understand how to resolve conflict with their employees and how honestly to get them to do their best and to be their best. The employees should have that same expectations, but it really sits with the leaders. And so conflict resolution is about being aware that a conflict is in process of happening. Secondly, understanding what tools he or she needs to use to dissolve the conflict and to move past what could potentially be a really bad situation and make it better. Now, this sounds like a really common example. Why is it so important? Because it is the crux of everything you do. One conflict can turn into a lawsuit for your business. As an employment lawyer, I see this happening every single day. A situation that really is a minor conflict turns into a lawsuit that's hundreds of thousands of dollars, but also 2 to 3 years of your life trying to figure out where did things go wrong. And so if both people could understand and be aware of how to nip this situation in the bud, the likelihood of getting a lawsuit at your doorstep becomes less likely because you're resolving these conflicts in real time and not sort of putting it under the rug. It's really important for business owners to be aware, to have their ears on the ground. Let's be honest. Conflicts are always going to arise because we're human. Here's 3 ways to alleviate these conflicts from becoming bigger issues and minimizing the risk. Number 1, open door policies. I'm a big advocate of those. And I know that sometimes they can be very disruptive in your day, especially if you're trying to focus. But giving your staff or your managers the ability to contact you at the moment a resolution needs to be had is really important. Make sure that you're there as a listening ear just so that they can bounce off of you. Hey, this is what happened. This is how I'm feeling. How should I respond? Or this is what I want to say. What do you think? Number 2, making sure that you talk about uncomfortable things is key. In yoga, I learned this simple mantra. The only way out is through. How do you apply that in the workplace? You've got to get through these uncomfortable conversations where people want to talk about things that are bothering them, but you do have to be prepared on how to talk about it. Don't minimize it. Don't become defensive about it. Keep open to it. And you don't necessarily have to have an answer or have a response. Take it under advisement. Again, you want to make sure that people feel like they can be heard. Number 3, making sure your company philosophy is around your people. Remember, your company gets to whatever level it is because of your people. And that has to be your guiding force, and understanding that we're humans and we're going to come to the table with experiences and things that are happening to us. Give them space and time to either grieve something or talk through something. Again, really the goal is just remembering that if you didn't have your people, then your business would not grow. If you're a business owner and your company culture is having these little ruptures with conflicts, we've helped hundreds of clients all over the nation to do just that. So give us a call and let us help you. And thank you for watching.